Imagine walking through Zurich's Seefeld district at 4:17 a.m. in late January. Snow falls in perfect, silent flakes past Bauhaus street lamps that cast long, untroubled shadows. You pass a narrow 4-story townhouse, 1890s facade, restored to exact historical specification. Pale limestone, black iron balconies, no nameplate on the door. Inside, on the top floor, a 47-year-old former hedge fund manager who exited his position at $2.8 billion net worth sits alone at a plain oak table. The room measures exactly 18 square meters. Floor-to-ceiling blackout curtains block the lake view he could have for 7 figures more. He chose north-facing, perpetual soft grey light. No staff enters before 7 a.m. No cameras, no smart devices that speak. The city hums below, but here silence isn't accidental. It's engineered at a cost most would call insane. This isn't hiding from enemies. This is the deliberate choice to erase presence itself. In 2026, when every movement leaves a digital trace, true power looks like nothing at all. In the first months of 2026, a quiet migration accelerated among those with net worth above $500 million. Family offices in Geneva, Singapore, and the Cayman Islands began receiving the same request. Make me invisible. Not from legal trouble or scandal. Most had already structured their wealth through layered trusts decades earlier, but from attention itself. The common belief still holds in boardrooms and media. Wealth equals spotlight. Founders post yacht photos, heirs appear on invitation-only galas, CEOs maintain public profiles for deal flow. Yet by early 2026, the pattern reversed among the top 0.01%. Liquidity events from AI exits in 2024 to 2025 flooded the system with new capital, $1.2 trillion in realized gains across private markets alone. And with it came exhaustion. The always-on economy had turned visibility into a tax. Attention became the scarcest resource, more expensive than private jets or Maybach fleets. Those who could afford anything discovered the highest return came from owning nothing publicly. This video explores the architecture of engineered anonymity, how the ultra-wealthy construct lives designed to leave no footprint, why the cost escalates exponentially, and what this reveals about freedom when everything else is already solved. Picture Lake Geneva at dawn, mid-February 2026. A 62-meter Explorer yacht, custom-built in Vlissingen, Netherlands, sits at anchor off Cully, hull-painted matte anthracite to absorb light rather than reflect it. No helicopter pad, no name on the stern, no AIS transponder broadcasting position. The owner, a 51-year-old who sold his biotech firm for $4.1 billion in 2023, maintains permanent crew of 8 who sign NDAs with 7-figure penalties. They rotate in 6-week shifts from neutral passports. The interior uses only unlacquered walnut and brushed steel, no logos, no art that could be traced at auction. He spends 183 days per year aboard, crossing jurisdictions precisely to avoid tax residency triggers. Satellite internet routes through 3 VPN layers, terminating in Iceland. No social media logins exist on any device. When he docks in places like Porto Montenegro or Bodrum, tenders approach from the blind side. No paparazzi long-lens shots succeed because no one knows the schedule. This floating perimeter cost $18 million annually in operating expenses alone, more than many maintain for super yachts twice the size. The paradox sharpens here. Unlimited mobility purchased to stay perfectly still in the public record. Shift to Singapore, Sentosa Cove, a gated peninsula where properties average $45 million. One particular house, modernist concrete cube designed by a Japanese architect who never photographs interiors, sits behind 3.2-meter privacy walls clad in reclaimed teak. The owner, a 39-year-old crypto founder who cashed out at peak 2021 and restructured into irrevocable offshore trusts, occupies only the basement level, 420 square feet, constant 18.5 degrees Celsius temperature, dimmable OLED panels tuned to 2700 Kelvin. Upstairs remains empty, furniture covered, lights off, security system armed to detect even staff movement beyond approved zones. He employs ghost service. Cleaners enter at 3 a.m. through a separate entrance, work in darkness with headlamps, leave no trace. Groceries arrive via blind drop at a neutral address in Orchard Road, then transferred by trusted courier who never sees the recipient. The upper floors exist as decoy space, listed in public records as occupied to satisfy zoning, but they stay dark. This inversion cost $2.7 million yearly in maintenance, security, and obfuscation fees. The psychology is precise. Abundance allows radical subtraction. When you can buy any view, the ultimate luxury becomes choosing none. Consider time itself as architecture. In Aspen, Colorado, a compound on Red Mountain, 11,000 square feet total, houses a single occupant for 90 days each winter. The structure uses rammed earth walls 60 centimeters thick, thermal mass that stabilizes internal temperature between 20 to 22 degrees Celsius without HVAC noise. Windows face north to eliminate direct sun. Light arrives diffused through skylights fitted with automated louvers. The owner rises at 4:42 a.m., performs 22-minute breath hold sequences in a 14 degrees Celsius plunge pool fed by mountain spring water, then enters a 90-minute float tank calibrated to 35.5 degrees Celsius skin temperature water and 0.5% salinity. No phone within 50 meters. No calendar beyond handwritten moleskin entries destroyed weekly. Staff communicate via encrypted one-time pads. Instructions arrive on paper burned after reading. This schedule has run unbroken since January 2022. The paradox unfolds clearly. When calendars empty completely, structure must be self-imposed at surgical intensity. Freedom without guardrails collapses into drift. Constraint becomes the final luxury good. Money, once the loudest presence, turns silent. Evergreen funds, structured in Liechtenstein or Jersey, generate 4.1 to 5.8% annual distributions with zero decision required from the beneficiary. Portfolio managers in Zug review allocations quarterly. The owner receives one encrypted PDF per quarter, 12 pages, deleted after 48 hours. No meetings, no calls. Liquidity sits in tiered accounts, $80 million in immediate access treasuries, $400 million in private credit drawdowns, $1.1 billion in illiquid positions that mature over 7 to 15 years. The architecture removes money from consciousness. Decisions ended years ago. What remains is space, mental, temporal, spatial, previously occupied by wealth management. That space fills with deliberate absence. Relationships recalibrate around the same principle. Trust becomes currency rarer than cash. In these circles, authentic connection requires mutual invisibility. A monthly gathering occurs in a private chalet above Zermatt. 12 participants maximum, all with comparable net worth, all arriving under assumed travel itineraries. No phones permitted, Faraday bags collected at the door. Conversation stays surface level by agreement. Architecture, materials, light quality, silence. No business, no family details, no names exchanged beyond first-name aliases, agreed in advance. The gathering lasts 36 hours. Departure staggered over 14 hours to avoid pattern recognition by private aviation logs. These meetings cost $1.4 million annually in logistics, security sweeps, and venue obfuscation. Yet they represent the closest approximation to friendship available. Shared understanding that visibility would destroy the very thing sought. Beneath the surface runs a deeper recognition. After liquidity arrives, usually 18 to 36 months post-exit, the external world loses gravitational pull. Objects, experiences, even places stop carrying intrinsic value. The mind turns inward. Questions shift from accumulation to subtraction. What noise can I eliminate forever? What presence can I erase without losing self? Identity, once tied to achievement and display, detaches. What emerges isn't emptiness, but clarity, an almost monastic precision about what remains when everything optional disappears. The emotional cost surfaces quietly, occasional loneliness sharper than before, because genuine contact now requires equal commitment to invisibility. Yet the benefit outweighs it. Control over narrative becomes absolute. No one owns your story because no one can find it. In 2026, when algorithms predict desires before they're formed, the ultimate act of rebellion is to leave no data trail at all. Back in that Zürich townhouse, snow still falling at 6:12 a.m., the former hedge fund manager sets down his tea single-origin Sencha, steeped exactly 62 seconds at 68 degrees Celsius in the 18-square-meter room. Outside, the city wakes into another day of notifications and traces. Inside, nothing registers. No footprint in the cloud. No image in the feed. The rest of the building stays empty. Lights off. Heat dialed to 16 degrees Celsius to discourage casual entry. He could own towers, islands, fleets. Instead, he chose this compression. Not as asceticism, as precision. The ultimate luxury in an age of infinite exposure isn't having everything seen. It's having nothing seen at all, and the courage to live inside that silence